let's just go ahead and start with like a quick introduction. Tell us who you are, things like that.
Okay. I am Cassandra Gomez. I am 32 years old and I live in New Orleans, Louisiana, originally from Las Cruces, New Mexico. And I am married. I've been married almost 3 years now. And I work as an investigator. And it's a really awesome job. I love it. And I started Smoo when I was on keto because I have PCOS and I hit a point with keto where I wasn't losing weight anymore. So decided to try Smoo and it really helped out with my PCOS.
That's awesome. And then before we started recording, you shared some news with me. So I'd love for you
I
to share that.
did. Let me get the good picture. I am currently 12 weeks pregnant with my first child, and I give a lot of credit for that to Smoo.
That is amazing. I just got chills when you told me that. So I get so excited. You can imagine us here at Smoo, we get to read all of your success stories, and that's probably like my favorite part of my job is just being able to connect with other Smoo babes and hear their stories. But I'm so curious about your PCOS because I also have PCOS. Like, how long
Mhm.
have you had it? When did you find out? How was like that process for you?
So I was diagnosed in about, let's see, it was 2014. I had actually I was weightlifting. I was doing 6 days in the gym. I was working out hard. I had lost a lot of weight, but I hit like a point of a plateau. So I decided to go to what is it, CrossFit class. The CrossFit, I had back problems before CrossFit. I told the CrossFit instructor, hey, I have back problems. And so I got injured and had to have back surgery. After the back surgery, I couldn't lose weight anymore at all. It completely stopped. So I went to my doctor, my regular doctor, and she said, did you know you have PCOS? And I said, no, I never knew. Nobody's ever told me. And she said, we see it commonly in weightlifters, women who do gymnastics, softball, things like that, because of a lot of factors with your muscle structure. And so I went to a gynecologist that the doctor recommended to me. And she said, yeah, you've not only had it recently, you've had it for a long time, probably since you were in high school. And nobody ever knew, nobody ever tested. Um, so long story short, I've only known since 2014. And so I decided to start trying other ways to lose weight. And when I moved to New Orleans is when we decided to try keto. And that's the only way I was able to lose weight at first. When I hit that plateau, that's when I started Smoo.
How did you hear about Smoo or where did you hear about it?
Instagram. So I saw the giveaways that Karagan was doing, and I'm a giveaway person, so I was always entering those. And then I saw success stories. There was a YouTuber, and I can't remember her name right now, that she talked about it, and she absolutely loved it. She had PCOS. So after a little while, I convinced my husband. I'm like, it's an investment, but it's worth it. And so I said, let's try it. If it doesn't work, I'll just stop. But it worked.
And here
It
you
was
are.
the best decision we made.
Oh,
Exactly.
how long have you been taking Smoo?
It's going on 2 years now.
Wow. So you've been
Mhm.
with Smoo since like the very beginning almost, huh?
Yes. It
Wow.
was spring of 2020. Yep. So
What
it's
flavor
been
did you start with?
I started with the unflavored. And honestly, it was the original unflavored. It was not my favorite. I would put it in some hot water and take it like a shot, like just take it, get it done with. And then I switched to the chocolate.
Mhm.
And I tried the birthday cake too, but chocolate's all-time favorite.
It's mine too, actually, because that was the first one I started with. Because I'm like a
Oh,
diehard
nice.
chocolate fan. Like, give me
Hmm.
all the chocolate every single day, and so that was the first one I started with. So it's kind of like my baby. And then
I get you.
I've tried all the flavors, obviously, but chocolate is my comfort zone. So Um, no, that's awesome. And with PCOS, like there's so many products out there, and sometimes it does feel a little bit confusing trying to navigate with
Mhm.
like, what should I do? Should I listen to my doctor? I'm curious to know what made you want to look into alternatives? Because I'm sure, or maybe not, but you can tell me, your doctor kind of had a plan for you and was like, this is what you should do. And if you could tell me a little
I
bit
got you. So, like most women with PCOS, the number one thing my doctor said was lose weight. If you don't lose weight, you're never going to have kids, is what she told me. And so I started the keto, and I wasn't working out, but I was working really hard at that keto. And my PCOS wasn't changing. It was just kind of still there. And I started looking into the alternatives and started saying, well, this is a diet you should do, or this is a diet you should do, or this is a supplement you should take. And it once I saw the ad and I saw all the feedback on Smoo, and women were starting their periods, and while I never had period issues myself, the fact that other women were having such success kind of just drew me to Smoo. It was the fact that there was a community where it was talked about, and PCOS, which felt to me like almost admitting that I was faulty in some way, wasn't faulty anymore. It was normalized. And there were people who had similar experiences that I could talk to.
I know. And I'm so glad you brought up the community, because that's what I actually wanted to ask you next. When I was diagnosed with PCOS, which it hasn't been too long ago, I think it's been like 3 or 4 years now, I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
where to go or who to ask. I felt like I was trying all these different things, because
Mm-hmm.
there's so much information out there with PCOS, and maybe more today than there was a couple of years ago when you were first diagnosed. But could you tell us a little bit more about the S'moo Babes community and why you love it?
Well, the Smooth Babes community is great because PCOS is so different for every woman. We all have so many different experiences. Like I said, some women don't have their periods. Well, I did. Some women have the extra facial hair. Some women lose hair. It's just all over the place. But in this community, you can find people who are struggling in the same way as you. So it's not a cookie cutter one way or the other, but you're able to connect with people just like you. And you're also able to hear the other side of PCOS from other women, and you can offer advice, and you can go to others with experience. So my favorite questions are, how do I take Smoo? How do you take Smoo? What do I take it all at once? Do I separate it? And it's nice to be able to help people who are starting, because I appreciated that when I was starting. So having that camaraderie and women who can speak about things that we couldn't speak about before, it's a family. It's something extra that just adds on, and you don't realize how underspoken about these issues are.
I know. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. And that's probably my number one job responsibility, the community. So I'm so glad
Mhm.
to hear that. And I'm in the community myself quite often, and I love seeing other Smoo babes like chime in and give advice and comment, because like you said, I started at Smoo as a Smoo babe. I was in the community and I was like lost in the, not knowing what to do. And I appreciated those other, Smoo babes who came in and commented or offered support or advice, or things like that. So it's honestly been amazing. I'm so glad you've had a similar experience yourself. So I am
Definitely.
so excited for your Smooth baby. We gotta send you a package in the mail. Because like you
Great.
said, it's been a long road, and I'm so happy you found Smooth. Uh,
I am too. Like I kind of sound like I'm brainwashed a little bit when I say to everybody, try Smoo. Like that's the number one advice I can give to anybody. If you have PCOS, or if you have any womanly or irregularities, try Smoo, because it can change your life. It really can.
I know. I imagine being my friend. I for it all the time. I carry bottles with me and I tell everybody, but it's just kind of like one of those things where you finally find something that's worked for you. You just want to like shout it to the whole world, especially
Definitely.
because like you said, it is something that a lot of people don't talk about. And I'll be honest, like I kept it a secret from
Mhm.
family members and friends for a long time, because I just thought like, wow, I must be the only one. Like, what are the odds?
Yep.
but it's more
Exactly.
common than we like to admit to ourselves. So
It is. And you have to have that conversation like when you're in a relationship. Hey, just heads up, I have PCOS. It might affect pregnancy if you ever want kids down the line. Like there's just so much to it.
that is a very hard conversation to have. But like I said, I'm just so happy for you and your little growing family.
Thank you so much.
So I don't have any other questions. Do you have anything that you wanted to say or?
Um, no, I think that's it. I really appreciate you and Karagan and the whole Smoo family because, like I said, it is a family.